guys, it's Stacey. Welcome back to my channel. So, I don't know if you are aware of this, but this week is the premiere of the new Stranger Things Season 3. So in honor of it being the premiere week for Stranger Things Season 3, I'm going to be doing a Stranger Things video. I have seen Stranger Things, but I am now currently rewatching Seasons 1 and 2, binging more like, I guess I would say, in preparation for the new season coming out, and I am obsessed all over again. So if you guys haven't seen Stranger Things, but you've probably heard of it, you should definitely check it out. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a Stranger Things tag. I thought there would be a Stranger Things tag kind of already out there and established. There's like Harry Potter tags and there's Supernatural tags, but I had a hard time finding a Stranger Things one, so I ended up compiling kind of a few questions that I found from a few different random videos. One of them was actually in another language, so I had to translate it and then kind of finagle the wording around so that it made sense. So I will put the questions down below that I am doing for this tag if you guys want to join in and do it yourself. So the first question is, how did you hear about the Stranger Things TV series? I heard about Stranger Things in a similar way that I heard about Supernatural. I heard it from one of my sisters, a different sister than the one that told me about Supernatural, but she told me about Stranger Things. I don't exactly remember the scenario of me starting to watch it, but I was obsessed with the show immediately. Who is your favorite character? My favorite character is Dustin. Which scene did you find the most exciting? I found the scene in season 2 where they are at the junkyard in the school bus luring in what they think is only one Demogorgon, Dart or D'Artagnan, and then suddenly you see 2 Demogorgons, and then it's just a fantastic scene. There's like fog all over the ground because by that time it's nightfall, and the kids are in the van, or at least some of the kids, and Steve, and it's just such a good scene. I also love that scene because there's a huge element of surprise by the end of it, because the Demogorgons leave the junkyard and you realize that Will, who is sick after his time in the Upside Down, is actually not just Will, and it was a trick, and the Demogorgons were being lured to another area to kill off some of the Hawkins Lab soldiers. Which character do you relate to the most? I would say, honestly, Dustin. Dustin is my favorite character, but I love how funny he is, and I think that, well, at least I like to think that I'm a funny person and I like having fun. So I relate to Dustin, but I also relate to Eleven because Eleven is very intuitive and I'm also very intuitive. So those would be the 2 that I would pick. Would you have the courage to go to the Upside Down to rescue your friend? I like to think, yes, I would. I think ultimately, yes, I would, because I think about some of my friends, and if they were stuck in that situation, I'm pretty sure I would do anything I could to save them. Kiana, I'm looking at you. I got you, girl. If you were like 11, what power would you like to have? I love that 11 looks so tiny and frail almost, especially in the first season, but physically, she can do real damage. So I would love to be able to do the things that she can do with her mind and be able to physically defend myself like she can. Which pair do you prefer, Nancy and Jonathan or Nancy and Steve? This was kind of a hard one for me. I would have to say season 1, I prefer Nancy and Jonathan, and of course that's the season where Nancy is with Steve. And season 2, I would have preferred Nancy and Steve because by season 2 you love Steve instead of Nancy and Jonathan. What is your favorite thing from the 80s settings? I would have to say my favorite thing is seeing all the kids ride like neighborhood to neighborhood on their bikes, and they also use radios. They don't have cell phones, but I love the idea of being able to like ride to your friend's house, and I think that that was like a real thing back in the 80s. It might be a real thing now, but parents are a lot more strict, I think, with their kids and allowing them or not allow them to do things like that. So I loved that. I also love the scenes where they're in the basement, in Mike's basement, playing Dungeons and Dragons. That to me is just like when you're hanging out with your friends, whether you're a kid or an adult, and you're just connecting and laughing, it's just the best time. What is the Demogorgon of your life? So for me, the Demogorgon of my life, probably the biggest challenge, the hardest time of my life actually happened just late last year and into this year. And that was when my horse, who I've had since I was like 11, got really, really sick and got a rare tropical disease. Many vets told us to put her down and there's nothing we could do. But I just listened to my gut and listened to her, and she survived. Favorite quote: mornings are for coffee and contemplation. Jim Hopper. Favorite 11 moment. My favorite 11 moment is when they are at the quarry and those 2 bullies like go past, like just bullying in my opinion, and one of them has a knife to Dustin's teeth, and then the other one tells Mike that he has to jump off the ledge and into the quarry if he wants to save Dustin from getting his mouth cut up, and that's just like freaking insane to me. Mike jumps off, but 11 saves the day and stops him like mid-air, brings him back up, and then 11 breaks the kid's arm just by looking at him, and it was awesome. Favorite Dustin moment. My favorite moment, well, there are many moments that I love with Dustin, but when he is looking for Mike, and he goes to his house, this is in season 2, and Mr. Wheeler opens the door, and like clearly Mr. Wheeler has like no freaking idea during the whole season what his kids are up to. The mom is at least trying to be involved with her kid's life. The dad is just like not present. He just doesn't pay attention. The guy just doesn't pay attention. So Dustin goes to the door and asks to see Mike. Is Mike here? No. Is Nancy here? No. And then Dustin's walking off and he's like, you know what, you're really no help at all, son of a bitch. And it's just freaking hilarious. Scene you could watch over and over again and never get bored of. I don't know, I mean, the whole thing is so good. I mean, there are slower moments in my opinion, just in season 2, like with Nancy and Jonathan when they're getting that story told with that weird guy in the city. I don't even remember his name, but they're trying to like expose Hawkins' life or what they did to Barbara. That is a little slower to me. I still watched it, I still like it. I think just the scenes with the boys interacting with each other. So I'm not really sure about that one. What do you want to see happen in season 3? Well, I know at least one thing I want to see happen is I want them to develop Billy's character. We meet Billy in season 2. He's Max's brother, and you don't really see much development. There's one tiny part where you see that his father looks like he might be abusive to Billy, but you're not really sure what that is or what's going on. It's one scene and that's all you see. Otherwise, Billy is just kind of a huge dick in my opinion. Also, he's super scary too, kind of like those bullies to the boys. He's like over the top scary, like very scary. But I would like for them to develop that so we can see why maybe he is the way he is, and maybe he could have some character development. So those are all the questions that I have for the Stranger Things tag. Like I said, I'll list them down below. I'd love to see what your guys' answers are to them. Also, because this is technically a tag video, I'm going to be tagging Beverly Butterfly, my good YouTube friend, because I know she loves Stranger Things and she would really enjoy this tag. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you with another one soon. Bye!